Hey everyone, welcome back to the Hangar Garage. So glad you could make it today. So today we're going to be doing an unboxing, reveal, first thoughts, and pretty much just general consensus of the product you're about to see. That product, the Predator 4375 portable generator. Alright, so a lot of people wondering how they should decide what generator to get. And I'll tell you how I decided. This generator, 4375 watts and 35 running watts continuous. So when you figure out what load you're needing to run in your house, you need to come up with a few different things. You need to see how many watts the actual unit runs, plus what it uses to start. So for instance, in air conditioning, it doesn't take a whole lot to run it, but to get it to start, it takes in a pretty big power load. Same thing with the refrigerator, the furnace. So these items you need to look at and see what your power draw for your house is. This unit's going to work perfect for my wife and I to power our refrigerator and the furnace if need be in the winter. Other than that, it'd be just for summer things for, you know, if the power went out, we could run some lights in the refrigerator and charge our cell phones. So that's pretty much it. So we'll get into opening this up. We'll get her fired up. I also, on top of it, you see, I got the generator wheel kit. These weigh, they get pretty heavy, especially the bigger ones. So without the wheel kit, it's very difficult to move these around. So I got the wheel kit. That's more for my wife. When I'm gone, if somehow the power goes out, and to be honest, me, so I'm not bringing my bag. So let's take a look and we'll unbox it. Alright, so let's get into this. First of all, we'll open the generator itself. It's got these packing straps. As in all the unboxing videos I'm going to probably do, it's you know, the quality of the box in this case is actually pretty good. Better than most of the products they sell. And you know, if you don't know about these generators themselves, people say that they were, you know, the cast molds from Honda. So that's why they're such great engines and they last so long. So, alright, so this is going to take just a bit to get out. There's probably an easier way to do this. I should have cut the bottom open first, but I'll try to pull it out here. Alright, so it's not light, like we talked about here. So, overall, it's a pretty looking machine, that's for sure. Let's get this packing material out of here. So all put together. It's in a bag, which is nice. Got a couple parts here in the bottom. It looks like, oh, let's see, a spark plug wrench and a little tiny wrench and a screwdriver. So, alright, let's take a look. Cut. Alright, so looking here, it's actually a really gorgeous machine. They did a really nice job putting this together. It's got some engine mounts. I have heard this is a little loud, but we'll see in the test. We'll actually get this fired up for you and put under a load and see how it sounds. But this new redesign they did, they put this like raised lettering. It looks like a Honda machine, basically. You know, it's a knockoff. So it looks really good. On the top here, it's got a for use, fill gas here, add fuel stabilizer, do not overfill, and then add 1030 engine oil below. So I'm not sure. I thought they would have given us a little oil to put in there, but it appears they haven't. Which, you know, isn't a big deal, but obviously that cuts back on cost for them. But it's a high altitude kit, which I guess if you were, in Colorado or somewhere in the mountains, that you would need that so the engine would run properly. As with most Harbor Freight, you get your owner's manual, pretty well put together. Sometimes they're missing details. I don't get it. I buy quite a bit from Harbor Freight where I can get a good deal, and I know the quality's good, and the things that I buy are things that they've pretty much knocked off. I have a Daytona car jack, and it's a complete ripoff of Snap-on, which they got sued over. I don't know what the outcome was from that, but so I'm gonna look through this really quick. We'll get this filled up. Initial reactions, good quality machine. The paint, really nice actually. Everything looks really solid. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this all set up. I won't bore you with that. And when we come back, we'll put on the wheel kit, see how easy that is. And then we'll put some oil in it, put some gas in it, and we'll start her up. Okay, so I thought I was recording. I wasn't. I went ahead and opened up the wheel kit. Really nice. It's got a handle. Decent quality. I mean, nothing great, but foam padded will make carrying this around a lot easier. The wheels they stink, but they're 8 by 1.75. You can tell they're just kind of plasticky. If these don't work really well, especially to get it to the back of the house where I'm going to have this, I'm going to have it on the grass. I don't know if these are actually going to hold up that well. I might get some pneumatic tires, depending on how this all sets up. We'll see, but that might be a better plan than that. And then this comes with a bunch of hardware. So I decided before I got all the oil and everything into it, I was going to do this. It will make it a lot easier to pull out to the outside before we start this up. So I'm going to put this in fast forward, and you can kind of see what the details are, and then I will give you an overview of how long it took. So I'll start a timer right now, and we'll be with you. Alright, here you can see I'm just putting on the axle nut there. It's just screws into the frame there. There's not a whole lot of room to work. Tightening it up is a little bit of a chore, so just in a couple minutes here you'll see I'll put a wheel underneath the frame, and right there, that just gives me a little more room to get some wrenches in there. Made it a lot easier. Alright, here you can see we're going to be putting the wheels on. It's nothing more than sliding it. I think it's a washer, put the wheel on, washer, and then one nut. And you can see I just put a little Loctite on that nut, and that's just to keep the wheel securely on there. You're going to be transporting this around to wherever you're going to be putting it outside, and you're also going to, the generator itself vibrates, so you want to have those bolts secure. You don't want things coming off when you need them to be on. So I did the same thing with the feet. Just word of advice on these instructions, make sure you know which bolt goes where. I ended up installing it and then realizing I put the wrong bolt on, so just be cognizant of that. So all in all, this process took about 15 minutes. Obviously, I told you about the bolt that I put in wrong. That took me a few extra minutes. And all my tools were on the other side of the garage, which didn't help out. But all in all, I'm pretty happy with the kit. Everything seems to be really good. The bolt right here, I didn't put Loctite on it. And it ended up falling out, so definitely a little Loctite out. Alright, welcome back outside. We've got the unit out here. We've filled it with oil, and we've got the gas put in it, so we're all ready to start. But a few notes about that. The oil, right here in Michigan, it's 50 some degrees today. If you're going to be using it in cold temperatures, which I plan to do in the winter, just in case we do a power outage, I want to run the furnace. You're going to have to switch out the oil. 5W30 below 32 degrees Fahrenheit, and then above that 10W30. So that's what we have in the machine right now, 10W30. I'll show you a problem with that in just a second. Once we flip this machine around, the filling of the oil in this machine, not very good. The way that they put the fill neck on this, it's almost impossible. You almost have to put the machine 90 degrees up and get a funnel, unless you got a funnel with a extension that came down to the machine. But easy enough. I just flipped it up, filled it up, checked the oil, that's good. The gas, I've got the gas treated with Stabil, $6, 10 ounce jar of it, not jar, a bottle of it. 1 ounce treats 5 gallons, which is perfect for that, so you only need an ounce of it. If you don't use that, then you've got to use rec gas, recreational gas. It doesn't have ethanol. I can't find it around here easily, so I just went the Stabil route. So this will be the first time we start it. I'm going to position us around here, and I'll show you that fill neck and kind of what I was dealing with, and then we'll go ahead and start it. This will be the first time it's been started. I haven't started it before, so you guys will be the first ones to see it as well as I will. So let me get you a closer look. Okay, as you can see, right here is the fill neck. And I don't know how well this is going to come out in video, but if I put the funnel in there, that's almost 90 degrees. There's no way that I would be able to pour oil into that. So what I ended up having to do was actually tip the unit back, put the funnel in, and then you get an angle that oil won't come pouring out of the front of your funnel, and it will actually go into the machine. So a little bit of a design flaw if you ask me. Alright, here we are next to the generator. It's a couple things. It comes with this nice quick start guide. This helps you. It's going to help my wife. That way I don't have to draw out instructions for her. You know, we're not going to use this that often, so if I'm gone, she has an easy to read instruction card right here. It hangs right off there. I might actually just get a little bit of a little chain off of a keychain to hold that on so it doesn't rip off, but pretty easy. So your first thing, the choke is located right up here. It's not labeled really well down here, but if you look on the frame, it says start and run. So first thing we're going to do is we go to start, and then we open the fuel valve. It's located right there. And then on the front of the machine, there's an on switch. I'm not going to flip the machine around, but it's just an on-off switch. You'll see it right on the left-hand side there. You put that to on. And then pull starter handle. And what you end up doing is when you pull this starter handle, they say just to pull it a few times initially to get the gas flowing in, which makes sense because the lines are empty at this point. So what we're going to do, we're just going to pull through a couple times, and then I can feel there's more resistance now, and it says when the resistance is there that you can start it. So what we're going to do is going to give it a go. This will be the first time, so let's see how she runs. Absolutely perfect. So the first thing is it's on choke, and what they tell you to do is to bring the choke lever slowly to run. Alright, as you can see, I mean, first pull, first start, that's pretty good. Sounds like it's running really well. Might be a little loud, I apologize, but what ended up happening now, we have to let it sit for 5 minutes. After that 5 minutes, we'll then put a light load on it. So I'm just going to cut the video here. We'll come back after 5 minutes and we'll put a load on it. Alright, so the generator's running right in the background. You can hear it over my shoulder, I'm sure. What we're going to do is we're going to plug in the load to a refrigerator in my garage. And then what we'll do is I'm just going to cut the audio, and then I'll dub over it so that you can understand the audio so it's not all messed up from the sound of the generator. And then I'll show you the fridge running, and then we'll go over the finer points. Alright? So it's been running for the 5 minutes. We need to check the GFCI plugs, and we just need to push the test button and reset in both of those just to make sure that they both work. And then the instructions say to use the top two before you use up and down. Don't use those two. You got to go left and right first. Alright, so I actually wanted to take this video. I forgot the noise is going to sound different, so I hope you can hear this audio, but there's a definite change when you plug something in here, and I want you to hear that in the video. But for the most part, not much louder at all. Now we're going to take a look. Sorry for the mess in the garage. You can see it plugged in right over on the side there on the right. And voila, fridge is running. Alright, so this is how you turn the unit off. You're going to first unplug the load. You don't want to turn the machine off while it is on a load. And you're going to just turn the switch to off, and that shuts the machine off at this point. I'm going to flip this around so you can see what the next step is here. And on the back, it's just your fuel selector valve, and you want to turn that to the off position. And that's it. Alright, well that's it. We see that it's a great little generator. Time will tell. I mean, really, we're just putting it under a really small load. So some of the finer points of this generator, there's a 3-hour break-in period, which you're supposed to put it under very little load. So that's why I'm putting it on the fridge. It's well underpowered, or excuse me, it's well overpowered for the fridge that is powering. That first 3 hours you want to keep it there. So I'm going to actually run it for the next 3 hours. Then at 20-hour mark, you need to change the oil out. So that's the maintenance life. So for the first 20 hours, you kind of have to track how many hours you're using it. Also, the packaging says every 3 months it has to be started. Obvious reasons, you know, gasoline, it sits and it kind of gunks up. That's why you have to put the Stabil in, and that helps. But for the most part, you need to have a good running machine when you need it, right? And this is an emergency type machine. So I've got right here, I ended up getting a mover's blanket. I'm just going to put this around it and put a bungee cord, and that will keep it when it's stored dust free. You know, I do some woodworking in the garage. We don't want it dusty and all messed up when we go to use it. So other than that, once we get a little farther along, we'll do an update review on this, especially if we have a power outage anytime soon. Hopefully not, but now that we have the generator, it's all good. So I thank you for joining me. I appreciate all the new subscribers. We're slowly growing, we're slowly getting the views, so we got a lot of things on deck. This is actually one of 3 videos I think I'm going to shoot today. So please like, please subscribe, please come back and join us at the Hangar Garage. Thanks again. Bye.